Okay, so
Episode 4. I'm not ready.
I'm not ready either. We kind of mentioned like we wanted to talk military stuff, but that's going to be moved. It's going to be moved to another time.
Well, why not tell them the story?
Oh, well, here's Zach, by the way. You guys can't see him,
Jumped in
but you
right
can
away.
hear him. You probably can't hear him well. He doesn't have a mic, but
I'm the voice in his head.
yeah. He was nice enough to get the bus warm for us because it's, again, another one of those cold days. So
Why don't you tell the audience your military stories?
I already did.
Oh, you
we
did?
didn't go fully into it.
I'm so done talking about it. Because
What about the funny
right,
ones?
because of the marches.
Yeah.
Right? So you talked it. So
yeah. Like,
those ruck march talks are probably hard to do, like daily.
yeah.
I was listening to one from yesterday, just right now. It's like you have to like find things to talk about daily. It's a
luckily for me, my
20
brain
minutes.
just never shuts up. It's just if like I start talking and I'm like, I look at the time like I want to keep talking and I when I first started, I started nervous and thinking like, oh, what if people don't want to hear this or they don't want to hear that? And then I just once I get into it, I'm like, who cares? This is my channel. I'm gonna talk about what I want.
That's the thing. Yeah, you're getting more and more comfortable, but
Yeah.
also having that long. It's like this podcast. So having a good 45 1 hour long video helps you like clip.
Yeah.
And then because you've said like many, like, it's what I was saying after the first episode. Where like, no, there's actually a lot of clips here, 1 minute clips that are interesting. So you kind of erase all the ums and hums and
Yeah. Well, I don't edit them. I just clip out when I
No.
make a good point. I just clip those out.
yeah. Like, people
Actually,
are
today I probably
looking
have
at clips all the time, anyways.
I got probably a blooper to do because every time I try to set up my camera on a tree. So like, how I do it now is the beginning is like intro me greeting the regulars, talking about what I want to talk about in the podcast, like upcoming stuff, upcoming plans for videos and stuff like that. And then I get into like a candid talk about a certain topic. But when I set up the camera for the candid topic part, because I'm not not hiking for that one, it falls from the tree almost every time. The first time I decided to do this, it was perfect. I didn't have to back up too far. Had everything in frame. And then I can never replicate that. I even went to the same tree trying to do it again, and
There's one of those tree hugging for hunters, like where they
Oh,
put
yeah,
their
for
GoPros and stuff. You
yeah.
can have one for your phone, or
Yeah.
my chest strap for the GoPro.
yeah.
I keep wanting to get that for you.
So since we're moving the whole like military stuff to another time, I know what I want to talk about today.
Really?
Yes.
You're that prepared because I am so not prepared. I feel like this podcast is gonna be 20 minutes, and we're gonna be
No,
like, okay,
I
that's
know
pretty
what
good.
I want to talk about, and because it's me, I can talk about it for an hour. So, I want to talk about the day 25 milestone because I'm
Okay.
excited about that, and then I want to talk about like because I keep mentioning like this whole thing started because we wanted to start off-grid stuff, right? So I want to talk a little bit about like steps we've been taking to try and get to. Because what is our step? Like, what is our first thing? Are we gonna try and get land first? Like, trying to get more people first?
I'm always looking for land, like still like daily on Realtor, looking for plots of land that could be potentially not too far away, within an hour and a half from here.
Yeah. The problem though
What?
is that he said north, and it's getting into what I was about to say. Problem is we're so close to the Canadian Shield, like. We know how, like there's ways around it. We can grow anywhere, like we know how to do it, but and maybe like it doesn't necessarily have to be easier, but Canadian Shield is it's not impossible, but it's hard to do everything we want to do on it.
But if you learn and you are hunting, it's okay to have some kind of an off-grid cabin in the beginning, and then just no hunting spots, where you just hunt, come back to your little land before you even start. Again, those are things that you need to learn, right? Like
Yeah.
There's probably ways to build a greenhouse, bring a bunch of soil, start compost, build garden beds. And
Yeah,
have,
like it can
compost.
be done.
Of
It
course.
absolutely can be done. I'm just checking this because okay, it's on. It absolutely can be done. But the one I mentioned it before. Like our long-term goal is to spread across Canada.
Yeah, have a bunch of plots that they could be different. Like maybe one is for rent, like as Airbnb for people from the city to come. I think we talked a little bit about it.
Yeah, getting people from the city to come out and like learn, like kind of like they come out and learn and do some work.
Like
and
I just yesterday I was looking at clips on Instagram how people are teaching history Russian history in Russia by renting out apartments that you walk in and everything, all the art, everything is teaching them about the Russian history, culture, and they're done so beautifully. It's like for Russians and for tourists that come, like there's a table that's made out of oak or some kind of a tree, and then there's a little thing there that says like where this tree came from, like the history of cultures, how it's made, and all that stuff. So we can have those kind of things where people don't even have to learn from us. They come in to that little cabin, and then there's little things that they can learn.
That also made me think of something too, like people that live in the city only ever lived in the city. Like, yeah, it could be a learning opportunity for some of them, but some of the ones that are curious about it and think they might want that, for them to get out there and try it and see what it actually is, and then maybe they might change their mind. I hope it doesn't. Like, maybe we'll help convince them, like, hey, no, it's hard, but it's worth it. But at least they get out and actually get to try it before they make that leap.
You can. Yeah. I would love to build something like that where people from the city can come and live like that for 2-3 days, where they don't need to take a whole week vacation from work. They can literally just have that whole experience outside.
What was in the frame in the third?
I have no idea, but I fixed it now. Now it's all clear. But
So
it was like it was right before your eye, like.
Yeah, because I was looking over to make sure it wasn't there this time.
Is it not? It's
no.
Nothing is there.
Yeah, nothing. There's
I have
nothing
to
that can be in
have
front of the camera.
A different system to do that, yeah.
But
yeah,
that's kind of
clear.
like, I didn't consciously think of this at the time, but it's kind of like what I was doing when I do my annual camping trip.
Yeah.
Where I try to get as many people. Most of the people what?
That is actually probably a step before we do a whole cabin thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to do.
Yeah, because whenever I'm trying to get people out, it's usually people that either lived in the city their whole life, or the camping they did is like, what did I call it that one time? It's like, what do we call it? It's not really camping. It's like
well, there's like a tent and another tent.
Yeah, but they
like,
still get a shower. They still get
Yeah,
their TV. Like, I saw one guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm camping." He's playing It was years ago, but he's playing PlayStation 2. I'm like,
it's barely camping.
You're not
Like,
camping.
Yeah.
You're doing what you would do at home outside.
To me, camping is when you have to hike a lot with a nice backpack to get there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a canoe that you need to carry. You have to find your own wood.
Yeah.
Build your own fire.
And I've been taking, like, once a year, I've been taking people out doing that, and we learn more and more each time. Like, I remember the first time, we brought way too much stuff.
Yeah.
Because I only got, like, a bunch of people canceled, so it was only 3 guys, and we had gear for, like, maybe 6. We brought, how many guns did we bring? Do you remember?
Good question.
There was
How many guns were there?
22.
Well, yeah, so there was 3 guys, and we brought, like, 6 guns.
Yeah. And then your Caltech.
Yeah.
Was the...
And, like, we don't need this many guns. We're only hunting ducks. But it's because, like, a lot of the other guys that ended up canceling, they never fired, like, they never used firearm before. So it was gonna be camping, learning experience, and firearm safety experience. But yeah, like, we learned, we cut down, like, every time I cut down on the amount of stuff I bring, because I'm learning more too. So I don't need as much stuff.
Well, it's also about, like, how you're packing it, how many pockets for inventory that you need, like a small amount of medical supplies, things that you'll absolutely need. And yeah, I don't know if they can hear me.
Oh, well, even the mic being closer to you would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just basically saying it's actually learning how to get comfortable with how you're packing, because, like, obviously you're gonna want to bring water and, like, medical supplies and things like that, but also just how you're packing it.
No.
You can get molly pouches and what?
No. We're going to get to the point where we don't even bring our own water. We filter what's out there. We deal with what's out there.
So you... Well, okay. Well, that's...
But then we'll still bring the medical kit, because beaver fever is a thing.
No, but, like, then you'd be bringing filtration equipment.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, figuring out what kind of kit that works for you, that's actually what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
You can get molly pouches for your vest. Like, if you get those vests that have the molly straps, and you can literally build how you want to set it up.
It's funny, though, because what you're talking about, some people, like Americans, they're going to be thinking, like, tactical vests. It's like, it is technically a tactical vest, but we use it for hunting, fishing, and camping. Like, we put, like, fishing line in some of the pockets and stuff like that.
Well, there's this one on Amazon. It's kind of like it goes on a tool belt.
Yeah.
And it carries a water bottle. It can carry your phone. It can carry a knife. It can carry fishing supplies. and it all goes on the side right here.
Yeah, but for me, it's not about, because I know you like to, like every time you go, you like to bring out as much gear as possible to try new gear, which is a good thing, especially if it like you need to learn your gear.
Well,
but for me, I want to learn how to get out there and survive with less each time. Because like the last couple of times I've gone, I don't even bring a tent, which was why my last winter one failed. Because I had it in my mind, I'm gonna build a big enough shelter and have a fire going in there, and I got, like I mentioned it, I think episode 2, that it just didn't work out.
Was there a lot of snow?
Yeah, it was a snowstorm. Like it was like whiteout level. Like
you need to bring a shovel, probably.
I did bring a shovel. I took my son's small little snow shovel and put it on my sled.
The orange one?
No, it was a little black one. We got it from either Canadian Tire or the dollar store. But it was small enough that it fit on my sled, but big enough that I was able to. So I scooped out a big circle under a tree and started to pack in the walls. Brought a bunch of tree branches down, put the snow on them. I was packing, but then I as my clothes were freezing stiff and my gear was freezing and stopped working, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna die. I gotta go home. Yeah. This one's a failure. This one's a big L. But
you're saying you got to figure out your kit, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Before you say that, is that your phone?
Yeah.
Can we put it up here so we can have another shot like this? Because this is not going to be clippable at all.
No.
If there's like a conversation and there's no...
I didn't bring my little tripod. That would have been perfect. Put my little tripod here.
You can put like that coffee cup or that water bottle or something. So you're going to be talking a lot. We need this.
Yeah, we need clips of you for TikTok and Instagram.
You're going to be on TikTok.
Or do you just want to be? Do you want to be heard, not seen?
I just want to be heard.
Okay.
Oh, fine.
So
I'll put a. Well, we can change your voice too.
Yeah.
Deep voice.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Make
you want to completely stay secret.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
So yeah, we were talking about making a kit and figuring out what works for you, right? When you start with all that stuff, you'll learn that, oh, I didn't need this and this. I can make my kit a little bit lighter. And because you practice with such a heavy kit, your lighter kit's going to be much easier and doable.
That's also, so you just remind me of something that I want to do in the future, like another future video. Because I'm going to do a video of showing what's in my pack that I carry for my rucksack videos. And actually, I think it was YouTube channel Risky Krisky. It's it's a gun YouTuber guy, kind of crazy, but I love him. Funny videos, but he was talking about like there's a lot of elitism with gear and guns, right? And it's really all about what worked for you. And I'm gonna surprise a lot of people on day 25 when I start taking some gear out and I swear by some of this gear and I tell them like I got this from the dollar store, like I got this from Walmart.
Well, what
like, it's not fancy, but it works.
It doesn't have to cost
yeah, you don't need, like, it's so annoying. Because
you don't need a lot of things.
I mentioned it in a video, like, I can't stand the elitism with tools. It was like, oh, you only use Milwaukee or you only use DeWalt or Ryobi. I was like, I just use whatever works. Yep. Or if I can afford it and it works.
Well, that's for like power tools and stuff.
But no, it's in everything. It's really big in the, like, with hunting gear, fishing gear, like it's just a guy thing. I don't know.
It could be cars and clothes and
yeah, exactly.
It's just like there's always going to be some.
It's funny. It's funny because people will keep going on and on and on about hunting camo and stuff like that. It's like, you know what your grandfather hunted in? Red flannel, like buffalo check, and an orange hat. He didn't have.
You know what his ancestors hunted in? Underwear.
the skin of the previous hunt.
From the underwear, a leaf covering their balls.
So yeah,
what leaf?
Yeah,
what leaf is his ancestors got?
Yeah. So it's funny. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you got to spend all this money on all this gear." I was like, "No, my grandfather used red flannel and an orange hat."
I guess that's fine. Like even like bow hunters now, the type of bow that they hunt with, all the equipment. But I guess like you have to use the technology where maybe back then you needed to be a hunter like really full time. You couldn't do anything else. Now like a lot of hunters have a full-time job. Because of the equipment and cars and planes and everything, we can go hunting a couple weeks
and
in a year. That's
You're saying it's mostly whatever works for the individual. What exactly do you mean by that? Because like,
I feel like your foot is gonna be chopped by that propeller.
So like,
It'll be fine.
it's funny because like, so some guys will
Getting closer and
they'll
closer.
spend like $1,000 on a piece of equipment, and they say like, oh well, it makes it this easier for me, right? And then another guy will go use that, and it'll give him a hell of a time, and it's just something that cost him like $10 or $100 feels better and smoother for him. And another example is with it goes beyond even just gear, like how people hold their guns. Like there's a lot of guys that hold their AR-15 like with the hand, like the barrel like this, right? And like some people act like if you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong.
Is there a particular example of like gear that you're talking about? Because you're just saying like, oh, like certain.
No,
gear.
because it expands on, like, it's not one specific thing, right? Like I said, this even goes into tools and like anything, right? Like there's always the elitists and the ones that say, oh, if you don't use it this way, you don't do it that way, you don't use this, you're garbage.
Wait, why would they be holding it from the top like that? Just to avoid it? Like,
yeah, so they like some of them argue, so if they have to transition to a pistol, they can just take it down, and like the whole point is to hold it steady, right? Like there's a training you can do where you put a coin on the end of the barrel, and you dry fire it with maybe some caps or something, and as long as you can hold it still and pull the trigger still and keep the coin on, like it's holding it steady for a good accurate shot. But it's also for like transitioning into like you have a jam or something, you got to go to your pistol quick.
So it's a good habit to hold it like that, or like
So what I'm saying is,
just
it works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But there's other people where just holding it down here with a good like foregrip or vertical or horizontal grips, holding it down here, right? Like if they can do that faster, or if it feels more comfortable for them, they're gonna take a better shot.
But
They don't-
during, if like it's a really high tense situation, would it just like drop the rifle and get the gun? I mean,
So
I don't want to drop guns.
again, like there's tons of like some guys I would recommend to check out for anybody else, because I'm not the best to get this information from, like Grand Thumb, Risky Krisky, like I said, if you want to laugh like and get some good information, Warrior Poet Society, these guys have some good videos. These are like and they go into all this stuff too, and better than I will. But for me personally, like I remember my training staff in the military, like the one guy that every bit of information he gave me was probably the best. Like he really knew how to teach. He really knew how to teach, especially teach soldiers. And he basically said like whatever's comfortable for you, like that's how you hold it. As long as you can keep that coin on the barrel, it doesn't matter. It's like, don't do it this way because you see all the YouTubers doing it, or you see your buddy doing it that way. Do the way that you hold it steady and you make a good accurate shot. And you can transition quick and do all your drills well.
Well, yeah, the important thing is that you make the shot, not how you hold the gun.
Yeah, exactly. But some people get focused on that. And like in the same thing with the gear. And actually, this is a perfect time to bring this up too. You know what? I'll do it in another video, but I'll also talk about it now. With the elitism with like customizing your gear and stuff. Like some people get really, really pissed if you do any modification to a military, like military surplus firearms. And that's why I'm like, Vitaly's here. He's Russian. I had permission. I had permission from an actual Russian to mess around with my SKS.
But it's also a weird permission because only because I'm Russian, but I'm not even shooting guns.
Yeah.
But to me, like I'm always like thinking of practical things. And, like, why not do this?
Exactly.
If this is what will get the job done.
Well, my favorite thing you said to me when I was talking to you about that was like, not changing it to fit you is like, it's very anti-Russian. Like it's like Russians, like they would modify it to work for them. That's what they do.
Yeah, I bet there's a ton of Russians who like want to preserve a certain like historical fact, but they're not running around using the gun.
Yeah.
Like I bet like if you need to use the gun properly, or like the way you need to use it at this moment, you do whatever to it.
Mm-hmm. Because I Frankenstein the hell out of so many SKSs.
I think it's great.
Do you think when it comes to firearms, you can say that there's like objectively good formations that people can have? Because like someone could be comfortable with one method, but if they learned how to be comfortable with a different method, Is it possible?
Okay,
that,
you got to rephrase that. What are you getting at here? Because there's like when if you're working in a military or a militia or something, it's not what's best for you. It's what's best for your unit or your team. Like
that's what I'm getting at though. Can you say that there's objectively like more efficient methods than I'm comfortable using this method?
No. Like in those scenarios, you have to do like you guys all have to be on the same page. You basically all have to have the same mind, kind of thing. It's like you all have to breathe the same, move the same. But like holding your rifle a certain way doesn't affect that. But like I'm kind of not getting.
Are you talking about like the individual, like how to hold a gun? Individual
like
holds
you can
it?
all hold your gun like, as long as you're making accurate shots and stuff. But you have to like you can't be like, oh, actually, guys, like I find it better if I do 2 shots, then dive, and then you guys move. Like no, you have to do.
No, not that.
Okay, because that's what was throwing me off. Because I'm like, no, you absolutely have to do what the unit is doing.
Well, yeah, working together in a military unit.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about for like just handling firearms. Right, like if something is more comfortable for someone else, right? Because they developed a habit of doing that.
It really just like.
I know what he's talking about. I think it's like it works in sports too. There's like a standard of how to hit a tennis ball.
Yeah, so there's standards that they'll teach you, and
eventually you'll find your way.
Yeah,
though.
exactly, and they encourage that as long as it goes with what the rest of the unit is doing, or team.
That's what separates a good coach is they see you and they're like, okay, this works better for you. How about try this? And it might be
and that's why I brought up that one training staff. I think he's probably sergeant by now, but he was master corporal at the time, and like he was like, whatever's comfortable, like as long as you're hitting the stuff, right? He encouraged that. There's other guys that were in there that were just like, nope, you're not doing it exactly the way I'm doing it. You're doing it wrong, and I had to get over it, right? Like. It's the military. You have to respect the ranks and stuff like that. But it was something that was in my brain that I couldn't stand. But yeah.
Zach, did you ever want to be in the military?
I did actually. It's funny. I never wanted to go into it because when it comes to like the military, I wouldn't really want to end up in a war that I would want to end up fighting for like my own personal philosophical reasons. Like, I would never want to get sent overseas. I would never want to get sent overseas for a war that I think is just pointless, right? And that would happen to me in the military. And in a way, I would kind of have less freedom and less liberty than I would if I wasn't. And I also heard that you can't protest, like if you're in the military as well. And then there's also that. Like you're just a part of the unit, like you're not an individual yourself. That bothered me as well.
Well, it has to be that way.
I know,
right?
And I understand the efficiency behind it, but it's not my personality.
Yeah.
But I loved the concept of the military, of
training, equipment, everything.
Yes.
Even like having a group of teams, discipline. Yeah.
So I guess we kind of are. This is our military episode.
But that's fine. Like whatever we go to. But I know there's a thing like that. Don't be an individual. But I've read some books on high-ranked Russian generals or whatever, and they said you have to be an individual. You have to think for yourself. Mm-hmm. That makes a better army than people who just follow orders.
Yeah, and not only
which kind of contradicts like a lot of people might think like they're not going to be a team, but this guy was saying like you need to have your own brain. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's like a weird.
This is funny though. It's like three guys that don't know anything about the military talking about the military.
But it's some concepts that like we've heard. Like you've had some experience in the training, so. And we all read books, right?
Yeah.
We all watched movies.
Yeah.
I know it's nothing compared to like, it's zero. It's beyond zero. It's negative 100 compared to people who being in combat. But I've read books on people who were in combat, and he was saying that it's like something that you would not think usually. You would think like a military person, a soldier just needs to be like a robot.
I need to recommend, since we're on this topic, I have to recommend some things for some people that if they're interested in this topic and they want to hear more from people who know what they're talking about, yeah, I gotta find it. I had it written down.
I also wanted to mention one last thing too, is when it came to the military, my biggest problem with it is being a good soldier is simply following orders, and if those orders are immoral, then
No, but you're wrong. You're wrong. See,
you know,
okay.
good
Yeah,
good
like
soldiers
Zach,
follow orders.
life isn't Star Wars, right? Like that's a fictional thing. Like people get that in their mind where it's like, oh yeah, good soldier follow. But we've, as people, we've gone so far. Like, yes, war crimes still happen and stuff like that. But as a culture, as a people, like the West, like you're like one of the main things you're taught in basic training, like first things is like you have not only a right but a obligation, a duty to disobey bad orders, like immoral orders, right? Like people don't think about that. They see the movies and they see like the stories about the war crimes, but there's the soldiers have an obligation to disobey bad orders, even if they can get them in trouble.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, and like it's hit on pretty well. Like things like, so some ways the Western or Canadian military, I shouldn't say Western military but the suicide issue with soldiers and stuff like war crimes and stuff like that, like there has been major changes, and like yeah, there's still room for work, and but it's not what people think. It's not what the movies say. Like there is like we have gone a long way. But I get your point. But that's just like, sorry,
I feel like you're both right about it, because if you take any job, like there's a ton of jobs where you get stupid orders and you still go and do them.
Yeah.
Like if you disobey, you can get fired.
But
the same thing
different.
In the military, I think.
It's different though, because like when we would get stupid orders at like construction site, right? Like people's lives weren't at risk with that.
But the psychology behind it, a ton of people would
Yeah.
still do that order because they
true.
might have fears of like not following the order. So it's the psychology behind it is still the same. Like they'll still go along, and they do go along with the order.
So since I was looking up references on this stuff, you also reminded me. So it's not military related, but the Lucifer effect and anything from, where is he? You guys keep talking while I find this.
Also, from the stories from my great grandfather, he was I don't know what it's called in English, but basically when there's a bunch of prisoners that have to be freed during World War II, and there was like battalions of them, and if those people said like I'm not going to the front, I'm not shooting, or they got scared, they would be shot. So like I don't know, like it's not like a moral thing there.
Yeah,
That's
so
if you had to protect, you had to protect.
a good reference for what we're talking about right now, like the following order stuff, is anything from Jonathan Livingston Smith, making monsters and stuff. Like he talks about the psychology of this stuff, about following orders, and then the Lucifer effect as well. Like where Lucifer effect is by. Why am I doing this? Why am I the worst? Philip. Your English is better than mine.
How is it better than yours? What am I reading? There's a lot of Zimbardo.
Yeah, they both talk about this, like the following orders thing, and like how good people can do bad things.
Even those videos on YouTube when like the child is being like taken. Have you seen those?
No.
Like they did tests like that. It's all on pretend. They grab a child and scream, and the child screams, and who's gonna, like in the big city, who's gonna stop that guy?
Mm-hmm.
And all, like a lot of people don't.
I forget the name of that phenomenon too. It's
It's like a crowd something.
yeah, it's something basically everyone gets in their mind like, well, there's so many people here, so at least somebody will do something. I don't have to do something.
Yeah. Or it's not that bad if no one is else doing something.
Yeah.
Like, it takes one person to jump in, and then like more people will help out.
Mm-hmm.
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But those things are scary. If you like search those videos of people grabbing a kid, and the kid screams, and the like grown up dude says like, "Hey, shut up," or like takes their like closes their mouth, and no one does anything.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
As a father, I find that terrifying.
Yeah, I would probably just run and kick that guy. And
Yeah. See, like also
do
like
something.
some of these people that do these social experiments and stuff,
Yeah.
like if they're not fake, they're pretty ballsy because like all it takes is the one person like or they probably don't do it in open carry states or something, but like that's how you get killed. That's how you get hurt.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as they pulled out a firearm, they'd be like, whoa, it's
Yeah.
not real, it's not real.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah, it's just a prank, bro.
But that was like a psychology. I don't know if it was through university or something, but they were trying to like really recreate a psychology test like that.
Yeah.
They probably have like 2 vents standing there. Yeah, people jumping out of there and like saying it's a test.
I wonder, like, I know this isn't a just me thing. Like, I wonder how many guys out there, maybe girls too, that like they'll just like they'll have nothing to do. They'll just be standing there. And they start getting in like daydreaming these scenarios, like what they would do if something like that happened, and they're like.
I think it's a good practice as long as you don't become like a psycho.
I was about to say, like,
if you go through a city, and
it gets kind of out of
think about
balance
it,
for
it's
me.
fine.
Like it gets so out of balance. Like it drives my wife nuts. Because I can't go anywhere without being like, hey, where's all the fire exits? Where's this? Like this person looks shady. Like
I feel like if you keep it in your head, it's fine. If you start,
well, she
constantly
knows.
saying
She knows, right? She'll see my eyes, and she'll know when I ask her to move. Like we need to move over here. She knows like what I'm thinking, and it, like.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure she'll appreciate if that place that we're ever in catches on fire. There's an active shooter or something. Like she'll probably appreciate it then, but. When she sees my eyes moving and I'm looking for certain things and I'm making mental notes of where certain things are, like
I think it's just being attentive. I think it's totally normal, especially for a guy.
Mm.
Like whenever even Emily puts her wallet or phone on a counter and just turns around, I'm like a hawk. Like, what are you doing? Where are your eyes? Why is that phone like or wallet on the thing? But that's just being Russian. Where's this podcast going?
I don't know. We've said some I think this is the first episode where we actually got some pretty controversial stuff out. So we'll probably engage some discussion now.
Yeah, I'll see how clippable this is gonna be. But I even clipped the previous episode.
Yeah.
And you still need to work on that.
Really? I felt like we're just beating the bushes.
No, well, it's controversial when, like I said, like when people don't, like when they don't have a lot of experience with something and then they talk about it, it rubs people the wrong way. Like I don't give a crap. I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it, I stand by like everything I said. I'm like, yep, that's how I feel.
Yeah,
but,
I guess I'm just not used to like internet culture. I'm not on social media a lot, so yeah. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, like who cares? But
Yeah,
we'll definitely because I've been trying to spark discussion and debate and stuff like on the comments and stuff. I'm like, well, just piss people off and then it'll happen.
Well, I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We could even end it with like, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
What is this? Or
Am I
this?
wrong? Tell me why I'm wrong. Like
Yeah.
I almost said it today in my ruck marks. It's like if you think I'm right, tell me what. Like agree. Like tell me. If you think I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong. If you think I'm stupid and ugly, tell me.
You don't even have to tell people to tell that. They'll, especially on TikTok or like shorts. Like people already do that anyways. They don't care. Which to me is like totally fine. Like the clip of me saying BC legalized cocaine.
Yeah.
And raw milk is still illegal. Some guy I had an okay conversation with him. I didn't mind him like pitching in.
Yeah.
But like I'm not too concerned about how people take that clip. Like the way he almost said it is that like be careful what you put out there. Like you're just headline reading. I know I'm headline reading. And I even put it in the comment, like, are we headline reading this? And he's saying, like, there's different... People start, like, saying there's a difference between legalizing, decriminalizing. I'm like, fine. I just shared one sentence.
What's the difference between legalizing and decriminalizing?
I still don't know, and I didn't Google it. He said there's a difference. I'm like, okay, fine. There's a difference.
But how?
But, like, I don't... That's the thing, is that I don't really care.
Where's the difference? Legal, decriminalize. Don't they mean this? In that
where's
clip, Google?
In that clip, what matters is that raw milk is still freaking illegal.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I asked him, like, and he said, yeah, it should be illegal. I'm like, okay.
But cocaine shouldn't?
Yeah, but like...
Sorry for everybody who just had their eardrum bursted. What?
The whole point of that clip was that it's crazy that there's legalizing or decriminalizing of cocaine, but raw milk... Like, people need to have a choice in anything.
Yeah. Like,
if you trust your farmer, go get that milk.
There's a massive push to legalize or decriminalize, whichever one you want to use, fentanyl. Right? Which I guarantee...
Google it. I didn't have the patience or care to, like,
but
learn
But
what's
no, like so
decriminalized
there
and
is
legalized.
there's no denying. Like if you're saying that more people, like how much more dangerous fentanyl is, like how many people die a year, right? If you're saying that's not true, you're lying or you're willfully ignorant or you're just stupid, right? Like I don't. Okay, so cocaine is the same thing. Cocaine kills a bunch of people, right?
But that's the thing. Like anything can kill. Why sell knives?
Because it's freedom. I deserve my dangerous raw milk.
Why sell knives? Why sell cars? Why sell anything? Like anything can be not okay for health. I think having the choice is much better.
Oh, crap. I just used speech to text and it just put everything you said. Okay. So, difference between legalizing and decriminalizing. Let's see. This guy's just
It's one
completely
of those word people. I don't like words. I'd just rather get the job done.
Okay, so no,
there is a difference. Right?
There is a difference. Okay,
and it's probably a.
And it's a decent. It's a decent.
It's probably important, but I get it.
Okay, so.
But it's still for my clip. I just want raw milk. I want to drink it. I want to buy it. And it's not that bad. He just said like there's health risks involved.
So
sure.
The difference is with legalization means that it's no longer illegal to have this substance. Decriminalizing means there's certain levels that you can have.
That's what I figured about it. But like, come
it's
on.
still stupid. It is still
Raw
ridiculous.
milk.
It's still ridiculous that more like people will defend cocaine and attack raw milk. Like that's insane. But okay.
But if you're listening to this and you
like I want
the one that put the comment in, we still love you.
Yeah.
Like it's just us talking.
But
shit.
I want to know. But I want to know. Like I want to know what the arguments are about against it, because I guarantee all the arguments that people will have against raw milk will apply to drugs like cocaine.
Well, people leave a serious comment, like he did, and we still love you. But then when I said like, do you care if raw milk should be illegal or legal? He said I'd rather have it illegal because there's health risks. But
is he consistent? Does he agree?
That's the thing. That's what I'm getting. That the few comments later, he said, "Well, I actually don't care." I was like, "Why do you leave these comments?"
Like, what's with the consistent? Yeah, like it would be one. I would have more respect for people if they were consistent with their arguments. Like if he said, "Cocaine should be illegal because of the risk. Raw milk should be illegal for the risks." Okay, I think you're wrong. However, I respect that you're at least logically consistent.
But also, if he's adding a comment when he says like, "I actually don't care," so like. Why leave such a serious comment then? Like, I don't know.
What's the reasonings behind milk being dangerous anyways? Is it because it could...
Because there's a monopoly on dairy products in Canada, and they just want to...
No, it's seriously run like...
That's probably the most, actual reason why they do that.
Yeah,
Raw milk's actually really good for you.
It's
super
absolutely.
good for you.
Milk's
and
amazing.
It is dangerous in terms of, like, if it goes bad quickly. It's a product that goes bad super quickly. Mm-hmm. So you have to know how to use it. But it's also a product that really tells you if it's went bad. Like it smells like crap. So like you don't have to be a super smart person. Oh, this milk is bad. But yeah, I totally think it's like the monopoly of the dairy business.
You guys see that recent video of the dairy farmer like literally crying while dumping milk?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It's criminal, and like I know I'm starting to get a little bit of people pushing back on my like anti-government stuff, but like, and when they asked, like, I'm like, man, how much time do you have for me to get into this?
Have you guys mentioned what they do with milk?
What do you mean? Like the process of
having too much and then to increase the value.
Oh no, yeah, everybody like honestly, it's a well-known fact in Canada. Like it bothers me that there's things that majority of people know. They know it's wrong. They don't feel like they don't like it, but then it ends there.
Well, we might have audience that don't know about it, so should we...
I like maybe very few. Like this is a well-known thing in Canada. It's
really?
And like this will bring me into something that bugs me about Canada is what I just said. We'll know, majority of people will know something. We will think it's wrong. We'll be unhappy with it, but then we just live with it. Like I think the trucker protest was the first time in a long time Canadians got together. It was like, yeah, enough of this crap. Like it takes a lot, and I don't know what it is. Like it's our culture or like the
Canadians are just very like apathetic, if that's the right term.
I think apathetic's kind of too harsh, but like on the right track.
Right.
I don't think they were like that. I kind of separate like old Canadians,
Yeah.
old generation, and like
Well, yeah, like
really
something changed in
city.
this is gonna get me a lot of hate. Speaking of controversial, something happened like after World War II where Canada just decided it didn't want to be a major player in the world and just wanted to be weak and decided to just keep voting in liberals from Quebec. Everybody hates me now.
And that's where the clip ends.
Yeah.
And bring in your comments.
Oh man, it's like I'm not wrong though. Like I may be wrong like in the like okay.
Yeah, this will be for the comments for the day.
Yeah.
But no, like a lot of people feel this. Like when again, like I'm not a veteran, but when I was doing the basic training or whatever, it was funny. Like one of the training staff was, they were talking about how Canada was like a major power during World War II. Like we had I think it was like the fourth largest navy. Like we were a powerhouse. And then somebody raised their hand like, well, what happened, Sergeant? And he's like, effing liberals from Quebec happened.
This actually made me also think that it's on point of off-gridding your mind. If you're leaving a comment, and we welcome all the comments, but be also prepared for us to reply in video form. Yeah. But that also, coming to that point of like being able to just talk shit is like a lost art. If you're commenting, don't just think like we're going to be nice.
Yeah.
We might be harsh, but it's not coming from a negative place.
Yeah.
It's
well,
just like we want to understand things. We know that you want to understand things, and there's going to be off-gridding your mind for you and us too.
I kind of like, I already let people know in the most cringy way possible. I went back and watched it and I cringed so hard my spine nearly snapped. But I was like, when I was talking to the audience, like, I love you and I want you to be happy. I'm like, in the least creepy way possible. Like, I can't believe I just said that.
I remember that clip.
But it's true. Like, even the guys that just, it seems like they've got nothing, like they're trying to find something to attack me over. I'm like, I still love you, man. Like the guy that's like, oh, you're giving no information. Like, I literally said in the video, none of this is deep, profound, hidden knowledge. Like, I'm literally like, this isn't a big deal. And he's like, yeah, you suck. It's not a big deal. I'm like, I love you, bro. Go watch my other videos.
Yeah, it's either like people are replying to a clip, not looking at the whole video, or just like out of, I don't know, feeling miserable that moment. Maybe they're not miserable in entire life.
My whole thing is trying to make people happier. So if I need to be your punching bag for that, then fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe like making ridiculous clips on TikTok is the thing for people to like release their negative energy.
Yeah. Let's go bully some random guy in Canada. Yeah. Like, all right, if that makes you happy. But you know what? I want to talk about some of the good comments I've been getting. Like,
oh yeah, why focus on the negative?
Yeah.
Is it recording, by the way, just to make sure?
I can't tell, man. The clamp is right over the thing.
No, it's recorded.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah. So when I first started, when I decided to start sharing them to everybody, like making all these videos public, my ruck marches, my whole thought was like, even if it just reaches one person and motivates one person, it would be worth it for me. And it's paying off. Like I've had people personally message me and comment about how me just being honest and opening up like that and being vulnerable like that is helping them. Like I got into some issues I used to have and I overcame them. There's some people that are currently dealing with those issues that me coming out and saying that to the world and saying like, hey, I overcame this and this is how has moved them.
I thought that was a very important rock march.
It was. I honestly, it was funny because I didn't want to do it. I mentioned this, and some people might not get this. Other people will get it very well. But I prayed before my ruck marches, and I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, and I was excited about that topic. But during my prayer time, I felt like, no, today you're going to talk about this thing you overcame, because there's people that need to hear it. And I was like, during my prayer time, I was like, well, I don't want to. But like the most, like for Christians, people who know what I'm talking about, like obedience is very important, and I did it, and I understand why now. I said in the video, I was like, well, maybe maybe there's nobody that's gonna hear this or nobody that really needs this. Maybe I just needed to get it out so I could heal, and it was both. It was really both. Like when I went back and listened to that, I was like, it registered to me. It's like, wow, yeah, I overcame that. Like,
it's awesome. I hate comparisons when people, but they still work. Like, why not learn from someone who has not gone like low?
Mm-hmm.
But some people just really like, if they see like another person is low, they're experiencing what I'm experiencing, and they overcame it, then I can do it.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that another person needs to see that another person also went that low, but that's just the psychology of life, you know.
Well,
It happens.
It's kind of like what I'm telling people, like, with this. I'm like, watch this journey of me becoming better, because, and I don't know, like, I might be too harsh on myself, but like to what you were saying, it's like, look at me, I'm nobody special. I'm just some random blue collar worker in the middle of nowhere, Canada. If I can do this, you can do it.
Oh yeah, it makes things relatable. But
yeah.
I just really want people to be like stronger, more in themselves, like not even need us, an example, to like change. But I understand that.
Yeah, there's some people that are not there. Like I was the kind of person I needed. First of all, I needed like the David Goggins videos and stuff like that, and then I needed to meet somebody like you that was like, hey, let's get up and do this.
Also, what like I think a very important thing is like how many times you watch a video without leaving a comment, without liking it, but being super inspired by it and dropping your phone and going to like for a run.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that many times. So whenever we see like no comments on a video but some views, we have to think like maybe that one person looked at it, didn't like it, didn't comment, and nothing, no engagement towards us, but they actually went after it. So we have to, I think, keep that in mind and not lose our like, oh, no one is commenting, no one is like, there's so many views, like there's so little views. Not fair. If there's one single view, I always try to think like that guy or girl might have watched this and they got something from this.
Yeah.
Just one little number.
I should have been thinking like that too, because like, it was getting to the point where I felt like I was kind of like wasting my time, and like I knew I wasn't. Like I knew I wasn't gonna give up. Like I can't give up now. I can't. That's why I put the videos out there and said, because I told people that I'm gonna do this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But I started to think like, well, maybe I'm just wasting my time putting it on all these social media things, and then and then I got those messages, and I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna keep putting these up on these social media things, because I was seeing like I got like one video was like 2,000 views, but like no likes, no comments. I was like, are people just like?
And they do, like we do that. I do that. I don't know. Like there's so many cool videos where I never commented, never liked it, but just keep scrolling. But like there wasn't some kind of an inspiration there.
Yeah, but like all it took was the one video where I talk about humility and humbling yourself and not being too proud. I think that registered with some people, because I had older guys, like older men, like in their 50s and older, message me or text or write in the comments like, hey, this is helping me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, because it's kind of like I was talking about, like I find like older men, they don't want to hear anything from a younger guy, and a younger guy, they doesn't want to hear anything from an older guy. It's all pride, right?
Yeah.
But like the bigger than my weight loss, bigger than my fitness and stuff, has been my like humbling myself, because it was something I keep bringing it up because it was powerful. When I slipped and hit my knee on the ice and I kept it on, that was like an awakening moment kind of thing. It was like after that, humbling myself became easier and easier and easier. It's like, wow, I just put it on the internet, me falling like an idiot on the ice.
Yeah, that really helps. Like being an idiot. That's fine.
Yeah, and like I went from, oh, like what if people don't want to hear this, or what if people don't like it too? I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with my Ruck March videos now, so like I wasn't gonna stop, but I'm definitely.
I think, just from like as an opinion, like I think they're very, very important for others to see and for yourself too. How religious or spiritual are you? Do you pray?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. Not as often as I hope I do, honestly.
Do you go on your knees by your bed holding a Bible? How does you guys do it?
It depends. So like some like, for me like there's different kind of praying I do. So like I'll do like interceding for people. Like if somebody's having a hard time, I'll pray I'll pray for them that way. And so and then there's worshipful prayer. Then there's just like fellowship or like just talking to the Lord. Like, so there's different kinds. And so like when I'm worshiping, or if I'm interceding for somebody, I'm on my face or I'm on my knees. And then there's just praying, like I'm just doing something. Like sometimes I'll be duck hunting. I'm just sitting on my boat, just talking to the Lord. So it's different. It depends.
But I'm not making fun of being on your knees and.
Well, I know, like
I do that. Too.
Yeah,
like yeah. I don't know if I pray, but I think I have like a dialogue, a conversation, a conversation with God.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, there's different kinds, yeah. Right? So
I try to leave Jesus and God alone. Just like, thank you for like another day in this life. I got this kind of thing. Go take care of people who really need it. I'm okay. And like try not to ask for too many things. Yeah,
so that just comes from like a different philosophy or way. Like some people think that God's very hands off, other people think he's not. Like it just depends on, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like your religion or like your relationship or whatever. Like everybody's different, right? So this just went from like just a random episode to like a really important, powerful one. So
I think that's the whole point of the name, is off-grading your mind. Is like we really brainstorm our ideas out loud and like pass them around. I'm kind of happy that you are here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. I missed you from Uninoke.
Yeah.
Oh man, we had so much fun there.
I wanted, yeah, like I think we talked about having guests on and stuff like that. So
I want my dad super bad.
Yeah, here. I know. I've read some comments. The commenters want your dad too.
Yeah, your mom. Your mom watches the videos.
I wasn't gonna say that part because I was like,
well, why not?
I don't know.
I think it's important. It's awesome that your mom watches it.
Yeah, my mom watches everyone, and my nana watches everyone.
That's awesome. And
then my buddy in Hamilton, John Wolf, he watches everyone. I think my brother. You said so. He doesn't watch. I mean, he's my brother. He doesn't watch all of them.
Why don't you watch them?
I've seen the first one.
Actually, it's okay because it's like a family thing. Like he knows you so well.
Yeah, it's like I don't need
to watch this again.
Hey, my excuse is that if I'm already here, I don't have to watch it because I've already seen it all.
Yeah.
Are you paying for this seat?
Behind the scenes.
A ticket
a ticket for the seat. Yeah. Oh man.
No, but like, as this grows and as we expand and stuff, like, I'm going to pay to have my parents' bus fixed, like this bus that we're using, so that we could go to different locations and go to people and interview them. Yeah, or have guests on. Cool.
Like, going on a farm and on someone's off-grid and like shooting a video and then a podcast.
Because there's so many Canadians that have off-grid farms that we could definitely learn stuff from.
Or just farmers. Like, it's important what, especially like the regenerative farmers, what they're doing. They might not be off-grid.
When we have an episode about raising chickens, we're gonna interview. We gotta find a way to get down to her. She's in New Brunswick, my cousin. She's like my go-to person for chicken information because she does it. See, a lot of people, she does it the right way. Like, some people get too attached to the chickens and become like pets. And if you want them to produce eggs and become meat, you can't do that.
No, you can't name them.
No, unless you're naming them like Kentucky Fried.
Oh yeah, that could be okay. Like the future meal of this.
Yeah.
Right. Christmas dinner, get over here.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome actually. Yeah.
But she was talking about like how people, when they treat them like pets, they stop producing eggs. And as somebody who loves eggs and needs I eat like 6 eggs a day, and I know people in the comments are like, "You're gonna get a blood clot." I'm like, no, that's something else. That's something else we could talk about. But eggs are freaking amazing.
They are.
Yeah.
I had 4 this morning. They're great.
Yeah, I have anywhere from 4 to 6 eggs.
I still didn't eat today.
Yeah, I was doing good. I was actually planning on fasting today, and then no, I don't even want to wrap myself out like this.
Do I have circles under my eyes?
No.
I went swimming. Those
the
goggles, like they keep for a good an hour or two.
I wonder if is yours swollen. Speaking of eyes being swollen, because Caleb, my eldest son.
By the way, that haircut is the best. When are you gonna buzz your hair?
When am I gonna buzz my hair?
Yeah.
You're gonna buzz it for a really long.
I don't buzz. I just get it short. I don't buzz.
I feel like we need a video in the summer of like ruck marching. Do I need to move my car?
No.
With everyone's hair being buzzed. I don't know what.
I don't know. It makes it a lot cooler, a lot better when you're doing the ruck march. That's for sure.
Maybe in the summer.
Will you do it?
Maybe in the summer.
You got a pinky swear right now.
Oh no, I can't make a promise I can't keep.
And it's gonna be fun. Like, the hair grows back. It's not a problem.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
I don't
Are we done?
No, we're good. We're good. My wife just broke something. I gotta fix it later. But no, I was saying Caleb nearly killed me last night when we were wrestling. I was wrestling with him and my youngest son, and my youngest son's 2, so I'm like trying to be careful and I'm focusing on him not getting hurt, leaving me wide open for the best headbutt I've ever got.
Nice.
Cracked me right here, knocked me down.
With his foot or what?
With his head. He headbutt me. Just boom. Right in the eye. And I had to, after I calmed down, because I didn't want to deal with him while I was angry, because I couldn't see it in my right eye, I had to like explain to him. I probably failed. This is probably a big dad fail here, but I was like explaining to him, like, in a combat situation or a real fight, that would have been awesome. But wrestling with daddy is not cool. That was not cool. Like, I'm in so much pain. I know people are probably not happy with that. I don't care, because I'm not the kind of parent that says, violence is never the answer. Sometimes it's the answer.
Well,
but
I mean, bullies exist. Don't they?
But yeah, no. Just my wife wasn't happy with how I approached it. I was like, any other situation, that would have been awesome, great headbutt. But that wasn't cool. You don't do that when you're wrestling with family or friends.
There's a jiu-jitsu class in Collingwood that's open for girls and boys.
Yeah.
From 7.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of taking Leia there.
Yeah, I need to get Caleb into something like that, because he's really into jiu-jitsu. He calls it, what does he call it? Two-jitsu or something. He says it wrong and it's hilarious and adorable. But he always wants to, like, he'll set up the mats and he'll like, let's do jiu-jitsu.
They have a gym nearby?
In Collingwood. Yeah.
Where?
There's a boxing. It's a boxing /
Jiu-jitsu?
jiu-jitsu place.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
I think there's some for younger kids, because Caleb's only 5, but he's really, really into it right now. And he'll want to, like, he's like, can I put you in an arm bar?
There's that place in Midland that we looked at a while ago.
Yeah, I gotta keep looking.
I don't know
into
if
that
these guys do 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
But I get like 4 or 5. That's when they can really.
Well, yeah, because he's pretty big for 5. Like, and he really likes it. He doesn't like striking combat sports. Like, he doesn't like punching or kicking, even though he's got an amazing punch. Like, he punched me yesterday and it actually really hurt.
You can just
it's
demolish.
Abusive.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, I need to get him into these sports, because he's got a lot of like a lot of energy and a lot of like healthy aggression, like boy aggression, right? Like, he's
I feel
not.
like Leia's a girl and she has that right now, but she's 8.
Yeah.
And I think there's like an energy shift that's been happening where she like feels like there's. I feel like she needs a ton of like sports or movement. But
yeah,
I think jiu-jitsu is great because they don't have to punch. It's all just rolling around and.
Because I showed him.
movement.
So what happened was I was showing him like Taekwondo and stuff, like some of the stuff I've done, and like when I try to get him to do it with the gloves and the mats and stuff, he's not like, he can kick and punch very well, but he doesn't like it. He's all about grappling. He enjoys that, so I got to get him into that.
It's probably a more beneficial, even martial arts to learn. Grappling.
Yeah.
I feel like in a lot of like street fights, there's a lot of like no one's like there's a high possibility of being knocked down and being on the ground.
I guess it's just different for me, because like at all of my non-sanctioned fight days, it's always been me versus several people. So like grappling is like, I don't know, because if you grab a hold of that one guy. But I don't know. Like, I haven't had a sanctioned fight, and I haven't had like a prop like since I was like 20. So
you said you had that desire to be in some kind of a competition.
I do want to have a sanctioned fight before I get too old.
They spar in that gym, the jiu-jitsu boxing. They have sparring.
My wife says I'm getting too old for that. She says I have too many responsibilities. She's
like
not wrong, but at the same time, I got to do it.
I feel like light sparring is kind of important.
Oh shoot! I keep doing that. I keep forgetting I have a mic. I did it on my ruck march. I slapped my mic the other day. I'm like, oh crap.
Is it possible to edit that out?
I'm not editing here.
No, we don't edit these. Like we said, like we want this to be real and like how we would talk to just if anybody in the audience was here. Like this is how we would talk. Same with my ruck march. If you were on a ruck march with me, that's how I would talk to you.
I remember I said I bought the shirts. They haven't arrived yet. Yeah. I also have a very cool idea. I bought a bag, like a ruck sack, whatever bag you want to call it, backpack. And there's going to be a logo of Off-Grid Your Mind on it. We're going to buy some books that we really, really love, and we're going to do a giveaway like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I don't know the details how we'll do it. Maybe actually create a post that's sponsored. Like I'll pay for it.
I'm so excited for all the things we're gonna start doing with this.
But this is gonna be such a cool thing. It's gonna be a bag based kind of inspired by your rock march with books that we love, on different topics. It could be anything, 5 books, and
oh my god, it's gonna be the heaviest ruck march ever because I'm gonna be like, oh, we need to put this book, book.
But that's the thing. We need to kind of try to do that maybe once if. I want to do it once a month. Yeah. Like a backpack giveaway with books that we love, and it could be different 5, 4, 3. Yeah. There's something that we can afford to give away.
Yeah. Another thing is, it's funny. We're gonna have so many once a month things that the whole month is gonna be full. I want to do once a month, invite people to go on a hike with us. Yeah.
That's another post that we need to sponsor to really invite people on board. And remember the reps challenge. I think it should be 1,000 reps a day challenge, and whatever you get to, 200, 100, that's your number. But overall, I feel like the goal should be pretty high, and then it just pushes people to do more and more.
1,000 reps.
1,000 reps a day challenge.
Of what though?
That's the thing. It could be anything. It could be skipping rope for 1,000. Whatever you can do. If you can just walk, if you can crawl, walk, whatever. Of 1,000 steps, 1,000 something.
Well, I think wasn't the average amount of steps a day is 5,000 or something though.
Yeah, I know, but the walking 1,000 steps is super easy. But what if there's one person out there who's really not even doing that? Yeah. The easiest thing would be to just walk 1,000 steps.
Yeah. I guess
super hard would be to do 1,000 push-ups. Super hard 1,000 pull-ups. So maybe you do that.
I friggin' backslid so hard on my push-ups. I'm down to 100 push-ups a day.
But that's fine. But that's if you have a goal 1,000, you'll think of it throughout the day, of how to get those 1,000. So you'll do way more having that goal and having a group, a club, or whatever we're gonna call it, of 1,000 reps. Yeah. And if you don't have time, you can
1,000 rep gym.
Yeah, you can do sprints for 1,000 yards or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's a kilometer, isn't it? Yeah. Or no, 1,000 meters.
Well, yeah, you can do you can break it however you want to break it.
You can do that, can't you? You can sprint from here to the stop sign, right? That's exactly 1 kilometer.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can't sprint that yet, but I can jog that.
My goal actually is to do I think they call it sprogging, where you're sprinting and jogging. My best record is from the house here. Yep. There and back to the stop sign, 11 minutes and 5 seconds.
So for people that don't know, that's 2 kilometers.
So 2 kilometers in 11 minutes. That's my best, but no wait, was it 11 or 12?
Well, that's good because I think
my goal is 10 minutes though.
I think the average is 5 minutes a kilometer, right? So that's good.
I thought it was 4.
No. I think you're
Oh no, wait, for average, yeah.
Yeah. Because, oh wait, no, I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong because I think the average 5K is 30 minutes. So I'm definitely wrong.
Here.
What I'm trying to say is though that you're making really good time per kilometer. If you're doing a kilometer,
I thought he could be faster.
No, he's pretty fast. I think he's, because I've seen him sprint full out from here to the stop sign, which is exactly 1 kilometer.
Are you doing the math?
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out.
He's my math guy. I got him to do my math for a job I'm doing. Because I can calculate. I calculated the square footage of the place, and then I was like, okay, now I need to calculate. So it's 572 square feet, and the shiplap I'm putting up is 8 feet long and 6 inches, and I'm just like, well, that's enough of that. Zach, do you want to do the rest?
Let's put some final thoughts on the podcast, and then maybe try to do some clips.
Yeah, we're gonna do our gun videos and stuff.
You have that?
I brought
Okay,
3
yeah,
guns today.
Especially, yeah. Let's finish this and then work on those clips.
Yeah. So what's our closing thought, Zach?
No
Should it be about the that thing, controversial thing you said earlier?
No. Let's just like something to sign off. Like tell people to get moving. Tell them to do their 1,000 reps. Tell them to.
Did you enjoy being here with us?
Yeah.
I enjoyed you.
It makes me want to go do 200 push-ups.
I didn't. It feels like when we were kids and you just follow me and my friends. Everyone's kidding.
Hey, at least you didn't throw duct tape at me.
That's awesome.
Mom, Zach won't stop following me and my friends. We're trying to play. That's a good sign off. Me acting like a weirdo.
Done.